Hey there team, how are you doing? Welcome to a new week. We are on day 56 of Lyndall's Luscious Limberings. Woo! Hey, nice to have you back. Hope you had a good break. I did. The weekend went relatively quickly actually, so time has no meaning anymore. How about that, hey? Great. So today is going to be our general mobility. It's not going to be too heavy today, just easing us back into it, getting the joints moving, bit of dynamic stretching. As per usual, please take care of yourself. Do your version of what I do as long as it's safe. But if anything pings or is uncomfortable, don't push through it. You know, it's okay. No one's judging you. It's just about getting moving. So, if you'd like to play along with your playlist at home, it's a bit so important. Go in. And two. Lovely. Okay, go. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Feet hip width apart. And just start by picking up the toes so you can feel where the weight is on the feet. And just think about broadening across the hips so that you can equalize the balance between the heel, the ball of the foot that's near the left, the little toe, and the ball of the foot that's near the big toe. And then just soften the knees straight down. So the same kind of release as if you're going to sit in a chair behind you. Chin tucked slightly, lift up through the head, sink down through the butt. Good. And I'm just going to start by rolling the shoulders. And as you're doing this, just take your mind inside the body. Where's your breath catching now? Don't force it anywhere, just be aware of where it is. And we're going to squeeze up and down. Breathing in and out. Roll the wrists forward, keep going. Nice squeeze, roll the wrists back, keep going. Good. And straight into doing a single arm roll. Shoulder roll. You know what I mean. Do this. Good. On one arm, we're going to go backwards and then forwards. Now together. Back and forwards. Do that with the elbows as well. So we're going to go back and forwards. Keep it nice and light in the movement. Breathe. Now the neck might start want to crunch as you're doing this. So think about you broadening across the back of the neck. Alright, and just into forward and back. Let's get a bit of a knee bend going, shall we? So we're starting to warm up through the thighs, the calves, the knees. And alternate directions. And you can let a hip twist come in here. So as the hips turn, the shoulders also turn. We're starting to get a little bit of a rotational action through the knees as well. Good. Back to swinging double arms. And if you're warming up, you can bend over a little bit more as you do this. Now we're going to do to the side, just super low. So I'm just turning the hips a little bit. Don't be too vigorous. Good. And back to shoulders. This time we're going to start to do a bit of a knee walk. So it's almost like the elbows and the knee are connected together by a string. Start lifting the legs up higher. Get messy with it. And start to really bring up that knee. Let's stay with this because it's making me laugh. And then go feet flex. I want our hands too. Good. And straight arms, straight legs. I'm clearly making this up as I go along, but it's making me happy. All right, back to single arm. Going forwards. Knee and toe both aligned. And sorry, that's going backwards, now going forwards. Really letting this extend out from the spine as you go. Change arms and legs, going backwards to start. So I'm letting the arm release. It's getting a nice stretch under the shoulder blades. 6, 7, and 8 going forwards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Feet back and hip width. And just rolling through the wrists. Lifting up through the head. And the other way. I think you can probably hear my neighbour getting in her car. Good. And elbows. Keep the shoulders down. Lifting up through the head still. And other way. Keep everything else relaxing. So even when we're working on the elbows, you can still think about relaxing the butt, breathing deep into the belly, softening over the diaphragm. So we're working on the inside as well as the outside. Keep going. Good. Now with the forearms, doing circles, let's go a little bit wider. Making sure the knees go out over the toes, so we're not doing this as we bend. And reverse the direction. Good. All right, so we're going to go up and down. I use the push off with the legs to bring the arms up. So really feel like you're trying to push the earth away from you. It's my neighbour coming back. She always forgets something and comes back. So do I. But, all right, it's going to go double time on that. So really let go of the arms. One more set of that. I'm turning at the hips. That's what makes the arm turn. Good. From here, we're going to start to reach. Try and get a piece of fruit or a bar of chocolate or a bottle of cider, whatever motivates you. Reaching from high. You can get it. I've totally got crackles coming from underneath my shoulder blades. Good. Forward and behind. So that's the energetic bit. Now let go of the arm. And by bending the arm, it comes back. And double time. I totally just hit myself in the ear, which considering I have headphones on, it was quite loud. Another set. Keep on lengthening out further from the spine as you go. Lifting up through the back of the head. Unlock your knees, soften through the hips. All right, other arm going slowly. And up, through, pop, and swing. Up, swing, up. I just changed music. All right, let's go double time. Breathing deep into the belly. Let the small of the back expand to touch the back wall. I'm going to turn my music up. All right, let's go double. Don't slap yourself in the face. So I'm not laughing at you, just laughing at the image in the brain. Good, all right, rolling up through the elbows, up through the wrists, up through the fingers, reaching. And now cutting the strings on the fingers, wrist, elbows, head, and rolling down through the spine. And rolling back up, stacking each vertebra on top of the other. Back down again, and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, back up. 7, 6, 5. And down again. Back up. Good, bring the elbows up. Wrist, fingers, and down. Good. Just starting to get a bit of discus movement. Arms nice and floppy. Turning from the hips and the shoulders now. So I'm turning the hips as far as I can go, and then when I can't go any further, I'm just turning the shoulders. If you want, you can get a little bit more of a knee bend now. And I know you want to. Keep going with that knee bend. Good, back to center. And we're going to go squat and squat. It's all right, we're not going to do too many. 3 and 4. Hold. Hips. Keep going hips side to side, hands to the side. Hands straight up. Stay down low. Hands back in front. Get the shoulders going as well with the wrists up. Good, coming up. Shake your legs. Go back down. Side to side. Go the other way. Stay down there, front to back. That's hard. Go sideways with the fingers up. Breathe. Hands up. Love it. Back in. Good. Come up. Shake out your legs. Go down and circle. Change the direction. Hands to the side, change direction. Change direction. Hands up, change direction. Smile through the burning that you can feel in your legs. Change direction. You're winning. You really are. Go down. And relax over. Just let that blood that you've built up in the legs start to flow around the body. So just gently popping out one hip then the other. And it's going to start to swing. Keep swimming and swinging. Good, hands in the middle. Creep out as far as you can. And then back through the legs. And then forward. 2, 3, 4 through the legs. And forward. And through. And forwards. And through. Stay at the back and stretch out as far as you can. Inch those fingertips backwards and backwards and backwards. And now inch them out forwards and forwards and forwards. Good, take the hands into the center, support yourself and just bend one knee than the other. Not really going into a deep stretch yet, just warming up on the insides of those legs. Keep going to side, we're going to put a little scoop. Love it. You can do a pop. I'm not popping. It felt good in my head. All right, sit down. Into this position. Actually, let's put our arms down. We're going to do kicky legs. Synchronized swimming version. From here, pushing away and up. Try not to crunch the neck forwards. Let it lengthen out the back of the neck. Keep going. And as you warm up, bring those knees in closer to the chest each time. Good, staying here. And we're just going to go one side, then the other. So I'm sort of putting one hip on the ground and the other. Good, we're going to go up and out. Keep balance. Good, lying down, and just go one leg on the other. Good, pop the legs over into a donut. My favourite stretch in the world. Loosen up the hips. Good, take hold of the leg and just wiggle up the hips one side and the other. So you're tilting them on the floor, tilting. Good, changing over legs. And through. And wiggle. Wiggle. Staying down there, we're going to lengthen. Remember now pushing the small of the back into the ground. Keep the toes pointed. If you want, you can put your hands under your butt to help. Push the small of the back into the ground. Burst that imaginary balloon that's between your back and the floor. If you're happy with that, we're just going to progress to straight legs. Small of the back into the ground. Try and take the tension out of the neck. Good. From here, just going to tip the legs over to one side and then back up the other side. Just nice and loose. Good. Knees into chest and just do a nice circle there. Change directions. Woo. Good stuff. Both legs down. Just getting one leg out and in. Stabilize the grounded leg. Pull your belly button in together. You can also just try and gently encourage the small of the back to the floor. And change. Keep going. Good, legs up into tabletop. And we're just going to go switch. 2, arms up if you want to increase the workload. 3, 4, moving from the hips, not the knees. 5, 6, 7, change music, go faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one more set of 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Onto your side. And just into our standard climb. So pull the hip down. So making sure you're pulling this down so there's a gap underneath. Good. We're just going to stay there and going up. Try and keep it exactly side on. Now we're going to go one straight, one bent. But this time when we bend it, instead of going forwards like we do the other times, we're going to keep the bend side on. So it's trying to come up to our knee, our ear. Keep those hips square to the ground. Good. Now we're going to bend the knee to swing forwards and back. picking a plant as you go. Up to you. If you have a plant next to you, if not, maybe get one, you know, I don't know, just saying. Change sides. Good, roll this hip down. And open out to the clam. I have my hand here not to look coy, but to remind me to pull the hip down. So I have a gap under there rather than sinking down in. Good, and straight leg up. Turn the hips so you're definitely going side on. So you shouldn't feel it on the inside of the thighs, you should be feeling on the outside. You might not be able to go too high, that's okay. It's not about the range, remember? It's about the quality of movement. Okay, straight leg into bend. Ear to knee, well, knee to ear. And bend the knee, just swinging forwards and backwards. Good, rolling onto all fours and just wiggling out your butt. Make sure the back's nice and straight. And into our cat-cows. Keep going. Good. From here we're going to go into our donkey kicks. So we're just going to go up and down. So you're like you're trying to push a button with your heel that's just above you. Make sure you're engaging through the shoulder blades, drawing the belly button into the spine. And changing legs. From here, we're going to do the ones we did the other week. So we're going to go in and then forward. So this is the swinging one. So I'm scraping my foot along the floor, obviously not actually, because that would hurt, and letting the legs swing up. Only as far as you feel comfortable. Don't let the back arch as you bring it up. Changing legs. Good. Changing legs into our rotation. So we're going to go up, side, and down. Then reverse side, up, and down. Up, side, and down. Side, up. Again, don't let the back sag. So you're feeling like you're drawing that clock face that's on the belly, drawing it into the center, engaging through the shoulder blades. And side, up, down, up, side, down, side, up, down. Good, just roll out your shoulders for a sec. Make sure you're free through the neck. Good, back down. I've changed songs, so we're going to go slightly different pace. And we're going to go up, side, and down, reverse it. Side, up, and down. Up, side. So it's important with this to hit those three poses so you transition. So I'm not trying to sort of turn along the way. I go side, then I rotate up, then I go down. Up, side, down. Up, side, up. Couple more. Good, just roll out those shoulders. Back here, I'm just going to do our trapezius dip, so dropping through the shoulder blades, and then back up. And again, we're doing this nice and slow. Okay, if you feel like an extra challenge this morning, just go up into your high plank. Otherwise, stay in the all fours position. Couple more. Good, knees back down again. Just roll out through the shoulders and through the wrists. Good, just going into our belly. And we're just gonna kick our butt. And now a double bounce, so bounce, bounce. One more set. Now while we're here, hands down, tuck the chin and engage to the traps, come up and down. If this hurts a small your back, just engage the traps and then release. Otherwise we engage first and down. Now if you want the extension from this, put the hands behind the head. Engage first, come up and down. Good, that's one level to stay at. The next level, if you want the progression, we get to come up and twist. Otherwise, just stay going up and down. Good, coming down. Hands underneath. Just push yourself up into an upwards dog or where you feel you can reach for an upwards dog. And into a child's pose. Good, tuck the toes under, up into a down dog and push, stepping through it. Get a little bit of a twist now, so you're starting to twist the hips, getting a stretch through the lats and the back. You know what, because we're in this position, you know what we might as well do? Mega mountain climbs. Here we go. Let's go for 2 of them double pop. So 1, 2, pop. 1, 2, pop. And back into singles. Good, hold it off. Go down and up. Other arms. Don't worry, that's all we're doing today. Walking back. Rolling up through the spine. Good. Rolling out to the shoulders. Just enough to remind you that it's there. Good. Pop. Pop. Together. Do that double time. All right, bit of a challenge. Go half time. We're going to go opposite, opposite, together, and then swap it over. One more time, slow. Opposite, opposite, together, change it around. Let's go double time. Brains are breaking across the world. Good, step behind. Get the hands involved. Good, change the hands into a sweep. Good, push. Diagonally up. And push across. Pushing diagonally down. Good, coming up. And out and in. Other way. In and out. Just walking through the feet on the floor. Now if you're feeling like you want to bounce, we're going to change the step and grab. Good. Changing out. My music stop. Keep going for 5 more beats. 3, 4, and stop. Good. Reaching up. Rolling down through the spine. And just straighten and bend the legs to find a stretch. Good, bending the knees, rolling up to the spine, stacking the vertebrae on top of each other. Good, taking a wide stance. And bend the knee. Just turn one toe slightly out and just stretch from the outside blade of the foot all the way to the fingertips. Try and touch the ceiling. So you're thinking more about reaching out and up rather than over. Deep breath in, breathe out, push the floor away from you to come up. And the other way. Try and touch the ceiling in the corner of the room. You can get it, I know you can, particularly if you push from the outside blade of the foot and lift the thigh up on top surface rather than letting it sink in so that your knee sags. All of those. Deep breath in, push the floor away from you to come up. Turn this toe right out to the side now. And sinking down, shoulders relaxed. Stretching from one side of the room to the other. Head going up. If the butt's creeping up behind it, the coccyx sink down towards the floor. Opening up across the chest. Good, deep breath in, breathing out and falling down to the ground. Deep breath in, if you're feeling comfortable, turn and look up on the outward breath. Stretching up towards the ceiling. Looking back. Deep breath in on the outward breath. Push the floor away from you. And changing sides. Lengthening from one hand to the other, shoulders down. Shoulder blades sliding down the back. Lifting up through the top and back of the head. Relax the belly. Coccyx sinking down towards the floor. Opening out across the chest. And down towards the floor. Fingertips towards the ceiling. Deep breath in. If you feel comfortable, look up. And backing down. Breath in. Push the floor away from you on the outward breath. Good. Just turn back the other way. And if you want, turn this back foot. Just sinking into a stretch here. And then put the hands down the floor, lifting upwards and forwards with the chest. Back heel extending towards the floor. Let this hip drop down towards the floor. Make sure your thin and your shin is perpendicular to the ground. Good, deep breath in with this hand that's same flat as the foot. Reach that towards the ceiling. And back in. Deep breath in, breathe out. Coming back up and turning around. Hands down. Deep breath in, breathe out, turn around. Place the hand up towards the ceiling. Try and touch the ceiling. Back in. And come into the center, just hanging over in an A-frame. Keep your feet in if you need to. Head super heavy towards the ground. My playlist is done. I don't know what Spotify's going to give us now. Who knows?
Good. Then just to finish, walk the feet in. Put the weight on the right leg, put the left leg over the top. And letting the chest go upwards and forwards, just start to fall forwards. If you put the weight in the heel of the grounded foot, of that right foot, you just find it goes up into the butt cheeks, bit into the back. Just don't crunch over to try and get down. Really keep that feeling that the energy of the chest is going upwards and forwards. The head's relaxed though. Now just use your hands to support you ever so slightly. Ease yourself forwards into the ball of the foot, or as close to that as you want to go, just to move that stretch down a bit more into the calf. And maybe a bit more the hammies, the backs of the knee. Good, back in, just bend that leg and swap over. So the weight's in the left foot, and just move it to the heel of the left foot as you take yourself down. Chest upwards and forwards, relaxing down. Even if the chest feels like it's going upwards and forwards, you can still relax that head down. And then just creeping yourself forwards to where you feel comfortable. Just be be in your leg as you go. So as you creep forwards, just have that sensation of where the stretch is changing, and you can play around yourself. You know, if you very slightly change your weight to the outside or the inside of the foot, you'll just change where that stretch goes. Good. Come back, soften the knee. Feet both together, bend the knees, rolling up through the spine. Roll the shoulders. Good. Enough, folks. It's day 56. It's all done. Just happened so fast, and I always say this. I'm just going to do this while I'm talking to you. Thanks again for your support. I don't know where you are when you're watching this, but there's a lot going on in the world right now. So there's also a lot happening on individual levels as well from lots of people, and we're reminded of what's most important, which is, you know, taking care of each other on an individual and in a global scale. But the very, very simple things of just being kind, listening, understanding, empathy, and allowing each person to be heard. Yeah, but most importantly, just being kind. So thank you for joining me, and all of my love to you. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I hope you're safe, and we'll see you soon. Okay, lots of love. Bye.